Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
This is Mary Scott. Let me just get myself organised here. A big welcome to you on the Personal Development Hub. As promised, we are live today with the gorgeous Cath Asquith. Hello, Cath. How are you?
Good, thanks, Mary, and thank you so much for the invite to be on today. This is exciting.
Pretty cool. Yes, you're like the foundation, the foundational person to be interviewed. So welcome to you. I do love that balloon of yours. Isn't that awesome? It's really colourful.
Yes, that was designed for me. That was by the beautiful Michelle.
Oh,
so,
wow. That's
yeah.
Excellent. See, she got a plug and she didn't know that. That's
No.
awesome. So let's talk about everything about personal development. First of all, thank you so much for being in our Personal Development Hub Facebook group. You've been around a while. Some might say a veteran, some might say a legend even. So how long have you been involved with the whole personal development, personal growth industry?
My journey, I was a late bloomer, so my journey didn't really start till 2016 when I came across it. I dabbled and I'd read books previous to that, but I just always thought, no, it wasn't something that was for me. And then I started to learn a bit about it and, sort of got hooked into it. It was a bit of a game changer for me. So it was...
What hooked you in? You said hooked in. What does that mean?
Well, it was the people that I got to meet, people that were like-minded and open and just, willing to listen, not so much the negative Nellies that are so few and far between in my world. It was just nice to interact with people at seminars and different events that I went to that were helpful.
Yeah, that makes a difference, doesn't it? And you said something before about it being a game changer. What was the game changer about it all?
Well, the game changer for me was that I've always been able to talk to people, but I've never felt like I've had the voice, as in people would actually listen to what I have to say. And I found that I could add value to conversations. So it allowed me to grow, which is a really silly thing to say because I'm in my early 60s now, so you would have thought I would have learned all this in my 20s, and I wish I had have, but so it allowed me to grow as a person and to be a lot more open-minded to other people, not shoot them down when people have an idea or something along those lines, just to help people was my voice.
That's brilliant. And I see you're an entrepreneur, you're a mindset mentor.
Yes, I like to talk to people.
Do you think that your personal development over some time helps you and informs you better how long, there's two parts to the question, sorry. How long do you have you considered yourself to be an entrepreneur?
Oh, probably in different ventures the last 10 years, but in personal development, it's only been in the last 7 years, 6 to 7 years. So it's just been, as I said, it was a late start for me, and but I love it, and I love talking to people, and I realize that you don't have to know everything to talk to people. You just have to be a really good listener and give honest and authentic feedback. And that's what people are looking for. They're really just looking for someone to help them work through a problem, not give them the answer, not find the solution, but for them to actually peel away all the layers and come up with their own answer, but have someone that's not criticizing them or pushing them into a corner, but just saying, and yeah, that's wonderful. And how do you feel about it? And when you ask that question, be prepared for the answer back, not dismiss them.
Yeah, good point. It's funny, isn't it? You said you love to talk, but what you just said then is that you love to listen.
Yes, I read people. I love to sit in a room and watch people's reactions.
You're reading me now? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I read you all the time, Mary.
So what is it about listening? What do you think is important about listening?
About listening, well, it also gives you a chance to understand things about yourself, because people bring up things and you sort of think, oh, I never thought about it from that point of view. So it's another area that you can grow in yourself, and then you can allow others to grow. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I have 3 beautiful grandchildren, and I teach them values that I wouldn't have thought about teaching them 7 years ago.
Wow, how wonderful to be.
You know, they make my eldest grandson, he's just redone his goals because he said it's the end of the first 6 months. So we sat on the weekend and redid our goals, and
how cool.
He's stretching himself. He's learning Japanese. He's only in 5th class, but he's decided he wants to teach himself Japanese. And
how old is he?
He's 11.
So you're role modeling. This entrepreneurial woman is role modeling to 11-year-old, and not only that, but teaching him. Yep. So how much does he know about personal development, do you think?
Oh, he's much more intuitive than most kids his age. He will sit and have conversations with me. He will read different things that I've been doing. We have great conversations. There's not a day that doesn't go by that he doesn't either ring me up or I see him and he says, how's your day been, Nan? And what did you do? You know, he's interested, and, you know, it's a reciprocal, you know, and I say he's had a bit of bullying last year at school and we worked through it, and he's now decided that it's just easier to walk away and be the bigger person. He doesn't need people like that in his life. And I think a lot of that's just come through from watching and learning and listening. So he's
absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Well, if you've just tuned in, this is Mary Scott. We're on the Personal Development Hub, of course. This is a Facebook group designed for people that love personal development, that love to grow, stretch themselves even. And I'm talking to Cath Asquith, who's an entrepreneur, mindset mentor, about her experience of personal development. So let me ask you something else, Cath. You said you got grandchildren, so it clearly means you've got children. Yes. How are they with, because they're probably a little bit grown up, are they these days?
Oh, yes. They're in their late 30s.
So what's their feeling about personal development? Their mother's got all fired up about this thing called personal development.
They just leave me alone because they're just, you know, they just think, oh, she's off on one of her tangents and whatever, but they don't realize that a lot of the things that we talk about is being brought back through by personal development. So in my own way, I teach them to be better for their children.
Oh, wow.
So they learn to listen to what they're saying and not stand over the children when they're talking to them. Obviously, if they're having a meltdown, they're having a meltdown for a reason. So get down to their level. So you're not this big, imposing adult over the top of them. You're eye level and have a conversation. Much easier to diffuse the situation than them all of a sudden flying off like the devil's in them. And yeah, so it's just little things like that they don't realize they're being taught, but in my own way, I actually can teach them to be better parents and just to listen to their kids.
Does that put a bit of pressure on you though? You're teaching your kids to be better parents. Does that mean you're a better parent, a better grandmother because of that?
No, it just means I'm a little bit of a control freak.
Well, there you go. You've heard it live today on the Personal Development Hub. Cath thinks she's a... Oh, that's so funny. That is a classic. You know what I was thinking about when you were saying that about children, and particularly your 11-year-old grandson? This is what it's all about. It's about generational change and helping generations of families, kids, adults to have better lives, to be thinking about their mindset and be positive. And in some respects, some of what you're saying is it kind of skipped a generation, and your kids, before they know it, the grandkids are going to be teaching them.
Yep.
Like, that is so cool. I love that. And I love that we have the ability to make so much change and to give people better lives, really.
Yes, yes.
So tell me about your mindset. If you think back, let's stretch the conversation. Let's go back 20 years, Cath, if I may, to this point. What would you say is different from then to now?
Oh, I'm much more confident. I mean, I've always worked in a boys' club industry, so it was always, you know, go and make the tea, go and make the coffee, get the mail, do this. You know, you can't do that because this is a man's world. I was really very lucky that my father was one of these people that believed if you could do the job, you got the job. And he was one of my greatest mentors. He would look at a situation and he would find the solution. He wouldn't say, we've got a problem we can't solve. He would say, let's talk it through and see what the solution can be.
That's amazing. There you go.
Yeah.
There's a role model, and
Yep.
you're now role modeling.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. So you learned all of this from your dad.
Oh yeah. He was a man that was well above his times in forward thinking. He was the true entrepreneur. He would look at something, and if there was a deal to be done, he would do that deal.
Isn't that beautiful? So
Yes.
was he a great listener and a great talker like his daughter?
Yes. Yeah. He would, yeah. You know, there was only one thing with Dad, that when he raised his voice, that was the end of the conversation.
Everyone ran for cover.
That was it. Once he started to raise his voice, and we'd say to him, don't you raise your voice at me? And he'd say, that's it, end of conversation. But
So I wonder how he would have gone in these days, because in that point in time, what do we teach these days? We teach people to pause and respond rather than react. Is that, yeah. Okay. So things are very different to 20 years ago.
Oh,
so
for me, they
how
are.
How does your life look now through the personal development lens, if you like?
I have, I'm very fortunate that I've actually come so far out of my comfort zone that even 12 months ago, to do something like this would not have even been possible for me. I would have just, no, I can talk, don't put me in front of a camera, don't.
But you're all, you mean today, do something like this?
Yeah.
Oh, mother of pearl.
It has allowed me to write a few ebooks, which I've thoroughly enjoyed doing. And it's given me a perspective on the value that I can contribute, not only to my family, but to my friends, to work colleagues, to our group.
How amazing.
It's just been such a wonderful experience. It really has allowed me to grow. And as I say on my Facebook page, I've found my zest for working.
Zest. I love that word. That's a pretty cool word, isn't it? So if you're listening to this live. We're talking to Cath Asquith, in case you've just joined us. And if you like what you're seeing here and you're finding this a bit of fun, a bit of entertainment, do leave some comments so that both Cath and I can come in later and see what you thought of us. Be kind, please, people, if you're here live, because this is coming through Zoom. I can't see your comments, but we do invite them. We invite feedback. And in fact, this whole idea of me interviewing people about personal development came from a couple of our members here. And you know what, I just can't remember. I think one of them was Anne, and it was another woman who suggested it might be good to have this live and talk to people about personal development. So thank you for suggesting. I love this. This is our first day. Cath here is our foundational person to be interviewed. It's probably a better name, but let's just say that.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. And, you know, if you're in this group, you must be passionate about personal development. I hope you are. Mine spans, well, probably more than 4 decades now, because I'm not 21. You can decide for yourself how old I am. But Cath, let's go back to you. You're the star of the show. You're the legend. You're the entrepreneur. If someone was talking to you today, doesn't matter how old they are, and asking you, hey, Cath, what do you think of personal development? There's so much out there. Where on earth will I start? What would you say to them?
I would, first thing I would say to them was to connect with someone that they feel they have an understanding with, whether it be a coach or in a group. But I would definitely suggest that they get a coach. And for goodness sake, find themselves a cheer squad, because that cheer squad has given me so much encouragement and so much love in the last 12 months that has allowed me to grow beyond what I could have even imagined. And yeah, it's just given me the courage to start new ventures. I know there's no criticism, there's people cheering me on. And it's just, yeah, so if you're going to do it, don't do it alone.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Just get yourself a good coach, someone that you can relate to, or join a great Facebook group and find out if these are your people, because not everyone suits everyone. And
you make a good point.
Don't do something just because you feel you have to. Do it because it's here, it's in your heart. You know that it's what you want to do, and don't worry about what everyone else says.
That's pretty good advice, isn't it? I love that.
Yeah.
You know, today you had a bit of notice, a little bit, but tell us now, what's the number one thing that has been beneficial in your life about personal growth, personal development? Just one thing. If you could pick one thing and say, this is the focus, what would it be?
I would have to say it's being able to teach and encourage my grandson, Ben.
Cool.
That would have to be able to mold a young mind, to give them the strength and the encouragement to achieve what they desire to achieve at such a young age.
That is absolutely brilliant. And, you know, what we were saying before, Cath, was about, I was talking about generational change. Imagine then your grandson at your age. I wonder what he'll be saying to his grandchildren. Like, we're never going to be here. But my goodness, if there's one theme today, it's to just take the goodness, you know, there's your dad, there's your grandson, there's your kids in the middle somewhere, there's your own journey that comes through all those, I was going to say all those different generations. That sounded terrible, didn't it? But from your dad to you, excuse me, to Ben, how magical is that? You know, these days we talk about generational trauma, and what we're talking about today is generational change, growth, adventure, excitement. What excites you? What gets you out of bed every morning? Get your feet on the ground. What are you thinking about? You're an early riser, aren't you?
I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning. So other than I have to do my day job or my morning job, I just want to see what's out there, what new thing I'm going to learn with my new ventures that I'm working through at the moment, and just being excited about working. I mean, we all have to do it. Unfortunately, I'm no self-made millionaire yet. Yes, there's a yet there. Just enjoying the day. I mean, as I am an early riser, I see a lot of people that are extremely unhappy with their jobs. And doesn't matter who it is, every customer I see, I say, good morning. And they say, what's so good about it? If you don't like your job, find something that you do love. Because no point making my life miserable, mate. But yeah, people they've lost the spark in what they do. This is what I've noticed, and I've learned through personal development, that if you don't have that spark to enjoy what you're doing, doesn't matter what you're doing, it just starts to eat away at you, and eventually you become some grumpy, self-centered person that just nobody wants to be around.
That's lovely, Cath. Well, we're gonna start to wind down a little bit, and just give me one word that describes your experience today, being the first person to be interviewed here on the Personal Development Hub.
Awesome. It's just been awesome. It really has. I've been so thrilled to be the first one. Now everyone can critique me and do all what they want to do, and then go one step better from me from now forward.
That's right. You've set the line or the bar. That's it. That's what I was. So before I finish off with Cath, I want to say, if you've been watching today, thank you so much. Be sure to give us, I don't know about the critiquing, but feedback, to put some comments in. And we're going to be doing this every week. This is Mary Scott on the Personal Development Hub. And would you believe, next week, we are going to the other side of the world. We've been talking to Cath. We are both from Australia. And next week, we are going on the other side of the world. You're going to be very excited. I'm going to bring lots of different people here. And the whole idea is to nourish and allow this community that we have in this personal development hub to thrive and grow. So, Cath, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Awesome,
Mary.
Cath.
This has been an absolute pleasure. And I hope everybody gets an opportunity to have a chat with you over the next few months.
Yeah. Oh, that's a thought. I'll be here forever. That's beautiful. Well, we're doing what we love, Cath and I. And once again, thank you so much for giving up your time. I know you're one busy woman.
Oh, that's
so
right.
there is Cath Asquith. She is an entrepreneur. She is a mindset mentor. This is Mary Scott from the Sunshine Coast here in Australia. I look forward to seeing you live again next week. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.